chosen ones. Somebody broke the silence. Somebody cracked the vault. Somebody handed you the keys to conversations that were supposed to stay locked forever, and now you're sitting there with proof that every instinct you had was right. The whispers you felt in your spirit weren't paranoia. The shifts in energy you sensed weren't imagination. That nagging feeling in your gut that something was off, that was your divine discernment screaming at you while they smiled in your face. Right now, in this exact moment, you hold power they don't even know exists. You've got the receipts, the timestamps, the cold hard evidence that the people closest to you built an entire narrative around your destruction. And here's the beautiful part, they have no idea you know. Welcome to the most dangerous position a chosen one can occupy. Welcome to the moment where silence becomes your strongest weapon. This is about what happens when the ghost finally sees the machine from the inside. Someone told you what they said. Someone showed you the messages. Someone pulled back the curtain on the whole performance, and now you're backstage watching actors who thought they'd never get caught. They gathered in their digital fortress, these people you trusted, and they dissected you like a science project. They twisted your words until they were unrecognizable. They laughed at the vulnerable things you shared. They created a fictional version of you just so they could tear it apart together, and it bonded them. Your pain became their entertainment. Your absence from the conversation made you fair game. They built intimacy through shared cruelty, strengthened their friendships by weakening yours, and convinced themselves it was justified because you weren't there to defend yourself. But let's talk about what really happened here. This wasn't random. This wasn't accidental. Chosen ones attract this kind of coordinated attack because your light exposes what people hide in darkness. Your authenticity makes their masks uncomfortable. Your growth reminds them of their stagnation. So they did what threatened people always do. They tried to dim you down. They created a coalition against you, a whole network deciding you were expendable. They made you the villain in a story you didn't even know you were in. Every conversation you walked into that suddenly went quiet. Every inside joke you were suddenly outside of. Every smile that didn't reach their eyes. You felt all of it, didn't you? And they thought you were oblivious. They thought you were naive. They thought you'd never find out. Here's what they forgot in their arrogance. Truth doesn't stay buried. Lies require constant maintenance. Everyone remembering the same story, keeping the same energy, never slipping up. And someone always slips up. Maybe guilt ate at them. Maybe ego made them careless. Maybe someone got cut from the circle and decided if they were going down, everyone was going down. Whatever the reason, the information found its way to you, and now everything has changed. You're not the same person who trusted them before. That version of you was cremated in the heat of betrayal. What rose from those ashes is something they should genuinely fear. The wild thing is they're still performing. They're still playing their roles, still pretending, still thinking you're blind to the whole charade. They don't notice that you've changed. They don't see the way you look at them now, like you're studying specimens under glass. They don't feel the shift in your energy, because they were never really paying attention to you in the first place. You were just a character in their narrative, a supporting role in their drama. But the script just flipped. You're not the subject of their conversations anymore. You're the author of what comes next, and they have no idea what you're writing. This is where chosen ones separate themselves from regular people. Regular people would explode immediately. They'd screenshot everything, post it publicly, burn every bridge in a spectacular display of rage. But you go quiet, dangerously quiet. You're not interested in making noise. You're interested in studying the battlefield. You're cataloging every fake smile, every lie told to your face, every performance of friendship. You're building a case in silence, collecting evidence like a detective. And they're so comfortable in their deception, so confident in their betrayal, that they don't even notice you've become someone completely different. Let's be real about what was actually in those messages. They called you dramatic, too sensitive, too much. They questioned your character, your intentions, your sanity. They gaslit you collectively, agreeing together that you were the problem while they were the victims of your existence. They made jokes at your expense that got laughing emojis from people you thought respected you. They took something vulnerable you shared and turned it into entertainment. And the thing that cuts deepest isn't just what they said, it's that they said it together. They bonded over you. They found community in your destruction. You weren't betrayed by one person, you were betrayed by a system. But here's where divine justice enters the picture. Right now, someone in that group is panicking. Someone knows they told you, or someone suspects they're being suspected, and paranoia is spreading through their ranks like poison. The same people who conspired against you are now turning on each other. Trust is eroding. They're going back through old messages, wondering what else might have been shared. They're having emergency calls, trying to figure out who talked, trying to control the damage, trying to get their story straight before you make a move. And the beautiful irony is, you don't even have to do anything. Your silence alone is torture. Just knowing that you know is enough to make them spiral. Every interaction with you now is loaded. Every casual conversation is a minefield. They can't relax around you anymore. They're wondering if this is the moment you'll say something. They're wondering how much you know. They're wondering what you're planning, and you get to watch them squirm. You get to see them perform twice as hard to maintain the facade. There's power in that, isn't there? Knowing your mere presence makes them uncomfortable, knowing they handed you all the leverage and now they're at your mercy. Watch what happens next, because this is predictable. Some will suddenly get busy, stop responding, become unavailable. They think pulling away first looks less suspicious. Others will do the opposite, love-bombing you with attention, becoming extra friendly, trying to secure your loyalty before you torch everything. Some will test you with seemingly innocent questions, fishing to figure out what you know, and the dangerous ones will start spreading rumors about you preemptively, painting you as unstable or untrustworthy, building their defense before you even attack. Study these different strategies. Their response to potential exposure reveals everything about their character. Now let's address something critical: the person who told you. The one who broke the code and gave you access to conversations you were never meant to see. What was their motivation? Was it genuine care, or was it strategy? Were they kicked out and seeking revenge? Are they playing both sides, staying in the group while feeding you information? You need to think about this carefully, because even the messenger might have an agenda. Be grateful for the truth, but don't be naive about the delivery. Verify everything, check the timestamps yourself, make sure what you're seeing is real and in context. In situations like this, everyone's playing chess. You need to be 10 moves ahead of all of them, including whoever claims to be helping you. This moment right here is a turning point. This defines what kind of person you become. You can let this make you bitter, closed off, someone who never trusts again. Or you can let it make you wiser, more discerning, someone who knows how to read people better and protect your energy more carefully. You can become hard, or you can become strong. Hard means impenetrable but brittle, easy to shatter. Strong means flexible, resilient, able to bend without breaking. Bitterness or wisdom, paranoia or discernment, hatred or boundaries. Choose wisely, because this choice determines your next chapter. The goal isn't to become like them. The goal isn't to start your own group chat, tearing them apart. The goal isn't to match their energy or prove you can be just as cruel. The goal is to rise so far above this that when you look back, they're barely visible. You want to become someone whose character is so solid that rumors can't touch it, lies can't stick to it, betrayal can't break it. You're already on that path. The fact that you're not immediately exploding, not immediately seeking revenge, shows growth. That's strategic thinking, not emotional reaction. That's chosen one behavior. So what do you do with this information? That's entirely up to you. Confront them, expose them, walk away silently and let them wonder. Use it strategically when the time is right. Every option is valid because you're the one who was wronged. You're the one who had to see exactly how little you mattered to people you thought mattered to you. Whatever you decide, own it completely. Don't let anyone shame you for your response to their betrayal. Don't let them flip the script and make you the villain for reacting to what they did first. If you expose them, you're not petty, you're honest. If you confront them, you're not dramatic, you're brave. If you walk away silently, you're not weak, you're wise. If you use this strategically, you're not manipulative, you're tactical. You hold their credibility, their friendships, their carefully constructed image in your palm like a grenade with the pin half pulled. And they're still talking, still gathering, still running their mouths, believing they're safe. They have no idea you're already 10 steps ahead of every move they think they're making. Here's what you need to understand about revenge versus peace. Revenge is loud, explosive, satisfying in the moment, but it chains you to these people forever. It means you still care enough to destroy them, which means they still have power over your emotions, your time, your energy. Peace is quiet. Peace is walking away with knowledge of who they are and never giving them another moment of your life. Freedom is realizing the best revenge isn't matching their energy. It's transcending it completely. It's becoming so focused on your own path that they become irrelevant background noise. It's living so well that your existence becomes evidence of their failure to break you. But maybe you're thinking people like this need consequences. Maybe you believe if you do nothing, they'll never learn. They'll keep building hate groups and tearing people down and feeling powerful through collective cruelty. Maybe you're the one who needs to hold up the mirror, not for revenge, but for reckoning. Not to destroy them, but to force them to see what they've become. And you know what? That's valid too. Sometimes people need to face what they did. Sometimes silence protects the wrong people. The truth is, they thought this would break you. They thought if they isolated you enough, mocked you enough, turned enough people against you, you'd disappear quietly into irrelevance. They thought you'd internalize their narrative, believe their lies, crumble under social rejection. But they were wrong. You didn't break. You evolved. You didn't crumble. You crystallized. Every lie they told became armor. Every joke at your expense became fuel. Every moment they underestimated you became evidence they never knew you at all. This is bigger than them, though. This is about you realizing something fundamental. You are not someone who stays down. You're a chosen one. That means when the universe allows you to see behind the curtain, it's not to destroy you, it's to redirect you. It's to show you who deserves access to your energy and who doesn't. It's to teach you discernment at a level most people never develop. Some people go their whole lives never knowing who their real friends are. You've been given a gift, a painful gift, but a gift nonetheless. Clarity, truth, vision. Right now you're sitting with knowledge that changes everything. You see through every fake smile, you recognize every lie, you catalog every performance, and the most powerful part is they have no idea. They think you're still the person who trusted them. They think you're still blind. But that person died the moment you saw those messages. What rose from those ashes is something they should be terrified of, because you're not the type to make scenes or beg for explanations. You're the type that goes quiet, watches, waits, calculates, remembers everything. You're building something in that silence, something they won't see coming. Let me tell you what's going to happen long term, regardless of what you choose right now. People who betray together eventually betray each other. Loyalty built on shared hatred isn't loyalty at all. It's a temporary alliance that dissolves the moment there's no common enemy. Their circle will collapse from the inside because that's what happens when the foundation is toxicity. You don't even have to do anything. Time will handle it. Meanwhile, you'll be somewhere else, building something real with people who deserve you. You'll look back one day and barely remember their names. This chapter will feel like a lifetime ago. A painful but necessary lesson in discernment. The universe orchestrated this reveal for a reason. You needed to see who they were so you could stop investing energy in people who didn't value it. You needed this clarity so you could move forward without dead weight. Every chosen one goes through betrayal at some point because it's part of the refinement process. It's how you learn to trust your intuition over people's words. It's how you develop the kind of wisdom that can't be taught, only earned through experience. So here you are, silent witness to your own story, being rewritten by people who never understood the plot. Ghost in their machine, seeing everything they thought was hidden. Most dangerous person in the room because you know what they don't know, you know, and the beautiful thing is you get to decide what happens next. You hold all the cards, you have all the power. They're just waiting, unknowingly, for you to make your move. Whatever you decide, remember this, you were never the problem. You were never too much, too sensitive, too dramatic. You were exactly right. Your instincts were accurate. Your perception was sharp. Your gut was telling you the truth the entire time. They tried to make you doubt yourself, but you didn't, and that's why you're still standing while they're scrambling in the shadows, hoping you don't speak. That's the difference between chosen ones and everyone else. We rise from betrayal, refined, not ruined. We turn pain into power. We let clarity be our compass. We walk away from what no longer serves us without looking back. The ghost became real. The witness took the stand. The anomaly revealed itself not as a glitch but as the whole system upgrade they never saw coming. And now they're the ones living in fear, wondering when their carefully constructed lies will crumble. Meanwhile, you're already moving forward, already evolved, already free from the weight of people who never deserved to carry your light in the first place. Welcome back, chosen one. Welcome back to your power. Welcome back to the truth. They thought they were writing your story. They had no idea you were about to write the ending they never saw coming. Now let's talk about what's happening in their world while you sit in this powerful silence. Imagine the chaos brewing in that group chat right now. Someone's probably sending messages trying to gauge the temperature, asking casual questions that aren't casual at all. They're testing each other, probing for weakness, looking for signs of who might have broken rank. The trust they built on your destruction is now destroying itself. Beautiful irony. They're experiencing exactly what they tried to put you through, except they're doing it to each other. Paranoia is a virus, and it spreads fastest in environments built on deception. Think about the person who was the loudest, the one who instigated most of the conversations about you. That person is sweating right now. They know they went too far. They know they said things that can't be unsaid. They're probably the one pushing hardest to figure out who leaked, because they have the most to lose. Their whole persona was built on tearing others down. If that gets exposed, their entire social structure collapses. Watch that person closely. Their desperation will make them do stupid things. They'll overplay their hand, they'll make mistakes, and you'll see it all happening in real time. Then there's the follower types, the ones who didn't start the conversations but participated because they wanted to belong. Those people are in a different kind of panic. They're trying to distance themselves from the ringleaders without being obvious about it. They're rewriting history in their minds, convincing themselves they never really meant what they said, that they were just going along with the group. They'll be the first to flip if confronted. They'll throw everyone else under the bus to save themselves. That's the thing about weak people. They have no loyalty. They just go where the wind blows. Some of them are probably looking back at old messages now, cringing at what they wrote. They're realizing how cruel they sound. They're seeing themselves through your eyes for the first time, and they don't like what they see. Good. That discomfort is the beginning of conscience, something they clearly lacked when they were using your name like a punching bag. But don't mistake their discomfort for genuine remorse. Most of them are only sorry they got caught, not sorry for what they did. Here's something else that's happening. The story is changing. Already in their private conversations, they're altering the narrative. They're minimizing what they said. They're claiming things were taken out of context. They're trying to soften the blow before it lands. They're practicing their excuses, their justifications, their explanations for why it wasn't really that bad. This is what guilty people do. They try to control the story before the truth controls them. But you have the original messages. You have the unedited version. Their revisionist history won't work on you, and somewhere in all of this there's probably one person who genuinely feels bad, one person who's actually reflecting on their behavior and recognizing it was wrong. That person might reach out to you directly. They might apologize without making excuses. They might own what they did without trying to justify it. If that happens, pay attention. Real accountability is rare. It doesn't erase what happened, but it shows capacity for growth. Everyone else is just doing damage control. There's a difference between someone who's sorry they hurt you and someone who's sorry they got caught. Let's talk about what this betrayal taught you about human nature. People show you who they are in how they treat you when they think you're not watching. The real character test isn't how someone acts to your face. It's how they talk about you when you're not in the room. You just got a masterclass in that truth. You learned that proximity doesn't equal loyalty. You learned that years of friendship don't guarantee genuine connection. You learned that some people keep you around as a topic of conversation, not as a valued relationship. You also learned something crucial about yourself. You learned you can survive betrayal that comes from multiple directions simultaneously. You learned your intuition is sharper than you gave it credit for. You learned you're stronger than they assumed. They thought they were destroying you in those conversations. They had no idea they were actually refining you, teaching you exactly who not to waste your energy on anymore. Every lie they told about you became a truth serum, showing you their real character. This experience is also teaching you about energy protection. You're learning that not everyone deserves access to your inner world. You're learning that vulnerability is precious and should be offered carefully. You're learning that your presence is a privilege, not a right. Some people took that privilege for granted. They treated your trust like it was disposable. They weaponized the things you shared in confidence. That ends now. From this point forward, you'll be more selective, more protective, more discerning about who gets to see the real you. But here's what's critical. Don't let this make you closed off completely. Don't let their betrayal convince you that everyone is like them. They're not. There are people who would never participate in conversations like that. People who would defend you when you're not there. People who value loyalty and integrity over cheap entertainment. Those people exist, and this experience is clearing the path for you to find them. Sometimes the universe removes people from your life to make room for better ones. This is one of those times. Think about where you were before this happened. You were probably overextending yourself for these people, showing up for them consistently, being there when they needed you, offering support and energy and time. And what were they doing? Gathering in digital spaces to mock you, taking what you gave them and turning it into ammunition against you. That imbalance is over now. You're no longer pouring into people who are punching holes in your container. You're no longer building bridges to people who are burning them behind your back. This is the part where chosen ones level up. This is where you take everything you learned from this betrayal and use it as fuel for your next chapter. You don't just recover from this, you transform because of it. You don't just move on, you move up, way up, to a level they can't even comprehend, let alone reach. They tried to bring you down to their level, and instead they revealed that you were never on their level to begin with. You operate from a completely different frequency. Consider what they lost by betraying you. They lost someone who was genuine with them, someone who showed up authentically, someone who offered real friendship without ulterior motives. They lost access to your energy, your support, your presence. And what did they gain? A few laughs in a group chat, some temporary bonding over shared cruelty, a false sense of superiority. That's a terrible trade, and eventually they'll realize it, but by then you'll be so far gone they won't be able to reach you even if they try. There's something powerful about walking away from people who don't value you. It's a statement. It says you know your worth, and you won't compromise it for anyone. It says you'd rather be alone than surrounded by people who disrespect you behind closed doors. It says you have standards, and they failed to meet them. That kind of self-respect is threatening to people who lack it. They'll try to paint you as bitter or unforgiving. Let them, you know the truth. You're not bitter, you're boundaried, You're not unforgiving, you're just done. Right now, you might be feeling a mix of emotions: anger, hurt, betrayal, confusion, maybe even a twisted sense of validation that your instincts were right. All of that is normal. Let yourself feel it. Don't suppress it or pretend it doesn't hurt. It does hurt. Betrayal at this level cuts deep, but don't let those feelings consume you either. Feel them, process them, and then channel them into something productive. Use that anger as motivation. Use that hurt as clarity. Use that betrayal as wisdom. The beautiful thing about being a chosen one is that nothing happens to you by accident. Even betrayals serve a purpose. They're clearing out what doesn't belong in your life. They're teaching you lessons you couldn't learn any other way. They're pushing you toward your destiny by removing obstacles disguised as friendships. This wasn't random. This was orchestrated. Not by them, but by something bigger than all of you. Call it the universe. Call it divine timing. Call it fate. Whatever you call it, recognize it for what it is: redirection. You're being redirected away from people who would have eventually held you back. Away from energy vampires who were draining you slowly. Away from fake connections that were blocking real ones. This betrayal is painful, but it's also protective. It's protecting your future from people who had no place in it. It's protecting your energy from being wasted on the wrong circle. It's protecting your destiny from being delayed by people who were never meant to walk that path with you. So as you sit in this moment of knowing, holding all this information they don't know you have, understand the power you possess. You're not powerless. You're not a victim. You're someone who got handed the truth early enough to do something about it. You could have gone years more investing in these people, wasting your time and energy on relationships that were hollow. Instead, you found out now. You get to make informed decisions now. You get to choose differently now. That's power. And here's the ultimate truth that transcends all of this. Their opinion of you, whether spoken to your face or behind your back, has zero impact on who you actually are. They created a fictional version of you in their conversations. That fiction says everything about them and nothing about you. You are not who they said you are in that group chat. You are not the character they invented to entertain themselves. You are exactly who you know yourself to be. Their words don't define you. Their betrayal doesn't diminish you. Their lies don't change your truth. You are a chosen one, walking through a fire that's meant to refine you, not destroy you. Every person who betrays you is actually doing you a favor by removing themselves from your path. Every lie told about you is actually revealing truth about them. Every moment they thought they were winning by tearing you down in private, they were actually losing by exposing their true character. They played themselves, and now you get to watch the consequences unfold while you build something better somewhere else with better people. This chapter of your life is ending. The chapter where you tolerated disrespect masked as friendship. The chapter where you overlooked red flags because you wanted to believe the best in people. The chapter where you gave access to people who didn't earn it. That chapter is closing, and it's closing with clarity. You're not leaving confused. You're not leaving wondering what happened. You're leaving knowing exactly what happened and exactly who these people are. That's a gift. Painful, but a gift nonetheless. The next chapter is going to be different. You're entering it wiser, sharper, more protected. You're entering it knowing what real loyalty looks like because you've seen what fake loyalty looks like. You're entering it with boundaries that actually mean something. You're entering it selective about who gets your time, your energy, your trust. You're entering it as someone who's been through fire and came out forged in steel. They tried to burn you. They made you fireproof instead. Welcome back, chosen one. Welcome back to your power. Welcome back to the truth. They thought they were writing your story. They had no idea you were about to write the ending they never saw coming. And that ending doesn't include them. That ending is you, walking away from the ashes of their betrayal, carrying nothing but the lessons learned and the power gained. That ending is you, building something beautiful with people who actually deserve to be part of it. That ending is you, realizing that sometimes the best revenge is no revenge at all. It's just becoming so successful, so happy, so fulfilled, that they become a forgotten footnote in a story that's much bigger than they ever imagined. Welcome to your next level. Let me tell you something else about this moment. Years from now, when you've built the life you're meant to live, when you're surrounded by people who would never dream of talking about you the way these people did, you'll look back on this betrayal as the catalyst, the turning point, the moment everything changed. You'll realize this pain was necessary because it taught you standards you didn't know you needed. It showed you red flags you used to ignore. It gave you wisdom that can't be bought or borrowed. This betrayal is expensive tuition for a degree in human nature, and you're graduating with honors. Right now, though, you're in the hardest part, the part where you have the information but haven't decided what to do with it, the part where every interaction feels loaded with meaning, the part where you're watching people perform without knowing they're being watched. This is uncomfortable. This is heavy. This requires strength most people don't possess, but you're not most people. You're handling this with a level of composure and strategic thinking that proves everything they said about you was projection. They called you dramatic, yet they're the ones having crisis meetings. They called you unstable, yet they're the ones falling apart with paranoia. They called you the problem, yet their whole dynamic is imploding without you even saying a word. Here's something powerful happening that you might not recognize yet. Every day you don't react is a day you're growing stronger. Every moment you choose strategic silence over emotional explosion is a moment you're building character. Every time you resist the urge to expose them publicly is a time you're proving you're operating from a higher frequency. This restraint isn't weakness, it's mastery, it's control, it's power, in its purest form. You're learning to move like a chess player, not a checkers player. You're thinking 5 moves ahead instead of reacting to the board in front of you. Think about the conversations happening in your own mind right now, the debates between your angry self and your wise self. The angry self wants justice, wants them to hurt the way you hurt, wants everyone to know what they did. The wise self knows that your energy is too valuable to waste on people who already showed you they don't deserve it. Both voices are valid, both have points worth considering. But the wise self knows something the angry self is still learning. The best chapters of your life won't include these people at all. Not as villains, not as cautionary tales, not as anything. They'll simply be absent because they're irrelevant to where you're going. Now let me put you onto something real. Destiny Engine. I built this because I was done watching chosen ones get dragged through betrayal, isolation and attacks while their enemies strutted around unchecked. I want to help you accelerate the speed of your divine justice and step fully into your purpose. And the beauty of it, you don't even have to lift a finger. Destiny Engine takes their downfall and flips it into your rise. This isn't another meditation app. It's declassified consciousness technology, the same mind programming tools your enemies once used to install fear, competition and scarcity, re-engineered to restore your sovereignty and align you with the cooperative, upgraded operating framework. It generates personalized sequences mapped to your divine purpose. The hardest thing you'll do is put on headphones, press play, and watch your enemies keep digging their own grave. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today and turn everything they did to break you into fuel for your rise. Link in the description. You're also learning something crucial about intuition. Every time you felt something was off, every moment your spirit sensed a shift, every instinct that told you to be careful, all of that was accurate. Your body knew before your mind caught up. Your energy read the room before the evidence arrived. This is teaching you to trust those feelings going forward. When something feels wrong, it probably is. When someone's energy shifts, pay attention. When your gut screams at you about a person or situation, listen. You're developing spiritual discernment at a level that will protect you for the rest of your life. And here's what they don't understand about chosen ones. We don't need closure from people who wronged us. We don't need apologies from people who aren't sorry. We don't need explanations from people who will only lie anyway. What we need is clarity, and we already have that. We need distance, and we're creating that. We need growth, and we're experiencing that. Everything we need to move forward is already within us. They think their silence or their explanations or their justifications matter. They don't. The moment you saw those messages, you got everything you needed from them. Truth. And truth is the only thing that matters. There's also something happening on an energetic level that's worth acknowledging. When you remove yourself from toxic dynamics, even silently, you create space for something better. Nature abhors a vacuum. The universe rushes in to fill the void. New people will enter your life. Better opportunities will present themselves. Doors will open that were blocked by these relationships. You're not losing anything real by losing them. You're gaining everything authentic by making space for it. This isn't an ending. It's a beginning disguised as a loss. Consider too what this reveals about your own strength. You're still standing, still functioning, still moving forward. Despite feeling the weight of collective betrayal, despite seeing in black and white how little you mattered to people you valued, despite having your trust shattered by multiple people simultaneously, you're still here, still processing, still growing, still choosing your next move carefully. That's not ordinary resilience, that's chosen one resilience. That's the kind of strength that gets built through adversity, not despite it. Watch what happens in the coming weeks and months as this plays out. Some of them will try to reach out like nothing happened. They'll send casual messages, test the waters, see if you'll pretend everything is fine. That's them trying to assess the damage without admitting fault. Some will suddenly become very interested in your life, asking questions they never asked before, trying to gather intelligence on what you know or what you're planning. That's reconnaissance. And some will simply disappear, hoping their silence erases their guilt. That's cowardice. Each response tells you exactly who they are. None of it changes what they did. The final piece of this that you need to understand is this: you're being prepared for something bigger. This betrayal isn't random pain, it's targeted training. You're learning to recognize fake from real. You're learning to protect your energy. You're learning to trust your intuition. You're learning to walk away from what doesn't serve you. You're learning to stand alone when necessary. These are skills you'll need for where you're going. The path of a chosen one isn't easy, and it isn't meant to be walked with people who can't handle the light you carry. This betrayal is clearing your path of people who would have become obstacles later. It hurts now, but it's protecting your future. So here's where we land. You're sitting with power they gave you by betraying you. You're watching them panic while you stay calm. You're building strength while they're falling apart. You're evolving while they're still stuck in the same patterns that led them to betray you in the first place. Everything about this situation is working in your favor, even though it doesn't feel like it yet. Time will prove that. Distance will prove that. Your next chapter will prove that. They tried to write you out of the story. They had no idea they were just closing a chapter you'd already outgrown. Welcome to the plot twist they never saw coming. Welcome to your power. Welcome to the life they tried to keep you from, the one you're about to build without a single one of them in it.